What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the runtime for A Plague Tale Requiem, or How Long to Beat. HowLongToBeat.com, obviously an incredible website, and it's not up there yet because people haven't played it, but we got confirmation from the lead level designer at the studio that makes A Plague Tale that the game will be around 15 to 18 hours long with no filler. Now, I'll talk about the quote in which they talk about the no filler, and this game is as long as it needs to be, those kind of hot words. But I will say it's tough when developers talk about length of time. The first game, A Plague Tale Innocence, was on How Long to Beat, actually. 10.5 hours was the average for the story, right? If you kind of just went through, took your time, did a normal pace, let's say, 10.5 hours. And normally when developers say the time, you should knock quite a bit off of it. The issue, of course, is when they give a range, right? So 15 to 18 hours, there's a range there. So maybe it's more like 12 to 15 or 11 to 14. It doesn't necessarily have to be 15, 18, but it fully feels like, also, again, based off of the quote, that this game is factually longer than the first game. So let's quickly read out the quote, and then we'll finish up with my thoughts about it. It's about pacing. There's no filler. There's no trying to make it longer because we needed to. Our publisher, Focus Interactive, encourages us to do the length that we want to do for the game, for the story we want to tell. So we're not aiming for a specific amount of hours. That's not something that we take into account when we first designed the game. We are a small team of 70 people, so we have to be really drastic about our choices. First funny comment is on the PlayStation blog today because it was Sly Cooper's anniversary. They talk about how I think there was like 20 or 30 people for the first, or maybe even less, for the first Sly Cooper game. So it's pretty funny when they say small team, and it's true. So, right, small nowadays, 70 people. Back in the day, back in the early 2000s, 20 or 30 people would have been a smaller studio. But no, I honestly really love that quote. It's what you'd like to hear. It's what you'd hope to hear pretty much from any game, right? Is that it's not padded. They're not making it longer. I mean, literally they say it. They're not making it longer because they needed to make it longer. They're telling their story. And however long that takes them to tell the story, they're going to. Like I said, it's going to be pretty interesting because 15 to 18 hours is their estimate. Very rarely are they right. Normally, they, again, kind of exaggerate the time. So I could imagine this game, again, probably being like a 12 to 15-hour game, which still would be 2, 3, 4 hours more than A Plague Tale Innocence. Of course, again, depending on how you play through it. That's what averages, I think, are for, right? To try to find that average. But I'm happy with that. I'm so excited for this game. This is a game that's coming out on Game Pass as well, so if you have Xbox, you don't even need to buy it. You could just play it there. This is one of my most anticipated games, and I really hope it could be a Game of the Year contender, and all of that for it to be Game Pass and for it to also be a pretty meaty, I mean, even if it is 12, 13, 14 hours, that is a meaty game, and 15 to 18 is like the length of time of like a Last of Us Part 2, maybe if you rush through it a little bit. Uncharted 4 was around like 16, 17 hours. So these are like, meaty single-player games are in that range of like 12 to 16 hours. That's a pretty solid single-player adventure game. So looking forward to it and looking forward to not rush. I do not want to rush through this game, and I won't, but we'll see how long, again, the average is when multiple people, I guess, get to play it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I'll see you all on the next one.